So
Wow.
presently, I think in the month of April, I was having some percentage, and currently, I'm working at 110% hike. So fortunately, yes,
Wonderful.
that's because of the boot camp I attended at the things age.
Hey everyone, welcome to the next video of the 10x Career Leader series. Today we're going to talk about one of the students with whom we have worked since quite a lot of time now. So he was one of those students who came to us in our very first boot camp that we had just started, when we were working on the boot camps. So we have seen his progress and the kind of confidence, the kind of, the communication skills and everything he has gotten for yourself, for himself, have been tremendous, and he is on his path to make a successful career for himself in his own area. So without further ado, hi Prashant, welcome to the interview.
Well, thank you so much, Vijay, for having me here. It's a great pleasure and delight to be, to be there with you. And it's a very long time we have interacted right after the boot camp, and currently, I'm talking to you. It's a very great pleasure. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. So can you, although I know you very well, but just for the sake of audience, can you introduce yourself
Definitely.
and give a little bit of background about yourself?
Definitely. So, my name is Prashant Shukla. I'm currently working as senior analyst at financial reporting team at BNY Mellon, which is Bank of New York. I'm a certified management accountant and currently holds a 2.6 years of experience. So that's a very short interview about myself.
Okay, perfect. So can you tell, like, for how much time have you been working there with the company?
Well, I believe, right after the boot camp, unfortunately, I got this opportunity. So I'm currently working. It's been 6 months over here itself.
Okay.
So I believe I joined it on 13th of June, and today I believe it is 25th of October, 25th of December. So yeah, 6 months.
Okay. So if so this is an optional question you can answer, or you can choose not to answer this question. Uh,
Definitely.
so can you give, like, what was your previous CTC versus what you're getting right now, if that is okay for you?
Well, because of the company's policy, I would not
Okay.
be able to disclose that. But
Okay.
I have got a 110% hike,
Wonderful.
from the month. Yeah. So
Wow.
presently, I think in the month of April, I was having some percentage, and currently, I'm working at 110% hike. So fortunately, yes,
Wonderful.
that's because of the boot camp I attended at the things age. Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell, like, how much time did it take for you to prepare and prepare for the interview answers, resume, and everything that you have done to get that job?
Probably, we have a boot camp of 21 days as usual,
Yeah.
but transformation takes time. You have to believe on the things which you have learned, apply the in a very technique manner, implement the things which you have learned in a rightly manner. That is where you will get the results. So it took me around, let's say, 30 to 35 days, in order to get through the all the process, and then finally get a job. So yeah, it
So,
probably
like,
30 to 35 days. Yeah.
yeah, so like I was mentioning the same thing, this is what we also felt, when we were doing those boot camps. We realized that we had to reach out to students more often and see how is their progress, whether they needed help. And what we realized through these calls is that they do need help. It's just not that these
Hmm.
21 days, they need help right after those 21 days as well, because some people, obviously, if people are very smart and talented, they do it very well in just 15, 16 days as well. But for
Hmm.
most of the people, just like me, it takes more than just 21 or 25 days or 30 days. What happens typically is that people just assimilate all of those concepts, and then they start applying it as the time progresses along, and which is where they
Correct.
start getting those doubts, and which is where we are starting this concept of community, where people will not just be uh, watching those recorded sessions, but also they can connect, they can have those doubt sessions cleared, as the time progresses. So there is no concept of, like, time like 21 days, 7 days, and so on and so forth. So Prashant, uh, can you give me a little bit of clarity on, I mean, like, so what are the things that you think people should uh, do when they are preparing, in addition to giving themselves the time that you just mentioned? Like, what additional, maybe two, three things that you believe people should do?
Probably I would say, first is to have some patience around yourself,
Okay.
because until unless you don't have a patience, you won't be able to get whatever opportunities you're looking for.
Mhm.
First is to have a patience, keep
Mhm.
working upon yourself, keep applying the techniques in the interviews, appearing for the interviews, and
Mhm.
that is where you will realize, that you have actually been whatever the condition, or whatever the positions you were in, and what are the positions you've been. So just like, it's a game of patience. Keep applying the techniques, keep applying, whatever the things you have learned through the boot camps. And just like, I would say the word would be the patience. That's all.
I think wonderful. So this is extremely important, so the point that you just mentioned here is because see, career is something which is so important and so innate to people, is that people start doubting or questioning themselves. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe that's the reason I could not get into like all of the companies, whereas some XYZ person was able to get it very quickly. So like you rightly mentioned, one thing that people should need to know is that when it comes to making a career switch or starting a new job altogether, sometimes not every variable is in your hand. Okay.
Absolutely.
Maybe some of the variables that you will be able to manage, which is your preparation, your the kind of guidance that you have gotten from people to whom you trust. But there are a lot of the factors, like what the other person is thinking while he is or she is checking your resume. Is he in a good mode? Is he in a bad mode? Is he in a mode of rejecting people or in accepting people? Okay, so these are the moods. While we would like those people to be in their best version of themselves, but these are the things that you cannot control. Like, so these are the external variables. So
it's just like, you can't have a control on those people. You just have
correct.
to, do your best.
Yeah.
Whether the results would be in your hand or it is actually not going to be in your hand. It's just depending on the time.
Absolutely.
So just a game of time.
Exactly. So when you start questioning yourselves, that doesn't help. Okay. So
actually,
so one of the things that I tell people, whenever they have done their interview, and when you are just coming out of an interview, that is where that inner critic has hit peak. He says, okay, you did not answer this question right, or you did not answer that question right. You would have done this way. You had prepared for this question like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. All of those things happen, right? So that is the best time you maybe, silent that critic, inner critic, and tell him that why don't we speak maybe 24 hours later, when we have processed all the information, because that is where that inner critic is going to be more rational, and you will be able to see that, oh, maybe my tell me about yourself answer was not correct. Maybe the framework that I was trying to apply, the StarL framework that I was trying to apply, maybe it did not come out as great as I would have liked it to be, which needs maybe a little bit of preparation. Or Absolutely. It could be something like, the interviewer asked you totally irrelevant questions. And this could be because when the interviewer looked at your resume, either he did not find anything interesting, or whatever you had written, that pointed to something else, which was not really the reflection of who you are as a person. Right. So the problem could be anything, when you give yourself time, the way you rightly mentioned, that helps you in analyzing yourself without critiquing yourself so vehemently that, you give up and you say that, okay, maybe there are not good enough opportunities in the market.
Happens. Because see, opportunities are there in the market. It's just like it's a time bound, when is the right opportunity will hit you up, and that is where you will grab the opportunity. It's just the time frame. You just have to accept the things and keep working upon yourself. That is where it is all about.
Okay. So one question that I want from you is, how do you think that the ThinkSys community or interacting with me or Prashant helped you? I mean, you can give your feedback as well. That is completely fine. But
well, first of all, what I liked about it is one-on-one interaction with the mentor. I mean, let it be you or Prashant, because we used to have a discussion while preparing for the CV, like these are the kind of words you should actually have in your CV. This should be the right format in order to present yourself in the right manner. Whatever the words or the whatever you're mentioning in the CV, what would be the the answers you're actually going to have in your back of your mind when they're actually going to the interviewer going to ask you that, oh, I could see that you have mentioned the skills, but can you just justify it, and how can you able to prove that? So that is where we used to discuss about those things, and I was very confident that whenever it is actually going, if he's actually going to look upon my CV and start answering the questions, I was very sure that I know the answers of the same, and probably this is actually going to help. So one-on-one sessions would definitely be there. Then there are some common questions to it. How do you introduce yourself? Then what are your salary expectations? Then how do you have you have to answer those salary expectation answers. Probably if you have mentioned, let's say I'm a team player, or how would you answer about I'm a good communicator. So there are so much techniques which you have actually discussed in the in the community or in the ThinkSys community. Probably this has actually helped me up how to answer those questions.
Okay, wonderful. I think that's important. So somewhere, so this is something that most of the people have also told us that there is, so they found a personal touch, which is what kind of helped them in their preparation. So again, to the students, who would be watching this, I would like to say that, it's not, I'm not just, I just don't want to advertise but about myself, but find a mentor, find someone
Yeah.
to
That's
whom you
actually
can
very
trust.
important, because what happens is, until and until you have a mentor being there with you,
Yes,
the person will actually going to push you up to your limits, right? What
correct.
happens is, suppose I have a mentor for 6 months, what is going to happen? The person is actually going to push me up for 6 months, and after the 6 months, when the mentor is not there with me, I would not have that courage to make myself available, like, let's do it another time, let's do it, start appearing for the interviews. You would have those motivation being going up. So it's
Absolutely.
always it's always good to have a mentor around you, at the last stage of the life, even that is also good. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's absolutely, I agree with you that you ought to have some mentor which is actually
Absolutely.
going to guide you.
So it doesn't matter, like who is that one person to whom you trust with your career decisions, or to whom you trust with
Yes.
whatever you do. So if you can, find that, and if you can just trust his advice that he's giving to you, I'm sure, please go ahead, do that, because that is going to do tremendous benefit to the career that you're going to have.
Right.
So before we kind of call this interview, uh, off, and we are done with this, is there anything else? There's just one last thing that you would want to give to the students who are coming to this community?
I would say the three things, firstly, whether whatever your background was, we we are the community who is actually going to help you out no matter what, because we are interconnected. Whether we have been
Yeah,
past students or the present students, or whether we are working anywhere. So it's just like
absolutely.
first I would say is to have a right mindset. Like, the opportunities are available with you. It's just like, if you're not getting the right opportunity, the right opportunity would hit you at the right time.
Absolutely.
Secondly, I would say, keep believing upon yourself. That is very, very important. If you
Yeah,
don't believe upon yourself, even, the mentor won't be able to help you out. It's just like, the mentor is actually going to give you the techniques. He will, tell you, like, these are the things you have to implement. But until and unless you don't have the faith around those techniques, things
yeah.
will not turn around for you. So that is very important. Thirdly, I believe, have a consistency and have a faith towards the community or the techniques which you're actually applying for. So yeah, three things for the sure.
Wonderful. I think that it's extremely important, the way you rightly kind of shared those things. Having faith is extremely important, because sometimes uh, all the logics and everything will tell you that things are not in your favor. Okay. And when you don't have faith in your abilities or whatever you do, uh, you know, and you start seeing that, things are not in my favor, you'll start
Mhm.
giving up, or you'll start seeing that the pressure is kind of, taking the better of you, right? So
Absolutely.
extremely important, the way you shared. Thank you, Prashant, for coming here and sharing your experience. I'm pretty sure that this is going to help all the students, all the people who are, within the community and watching this video.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vijay, for having me here. It's a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
From my previous experiences, I thought of myself as an expert, as to, I could
Yeah.
give an interview, get selected.
Mhm.
And my thinking was, I'll tell the interviewer about my story, he'll be impressed, and I can impress him with my words.
Mhm.
And that is how I get a job. But then with your sessions, yeah, I realized, there was that fault in the thinking. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to hear my story. He
Mhm.
wants to hear.
Okay, so welcome everyone to this episode of 10x Career Leaders. In today's episode, I have invited a very close friend of mine, Nikhil Pandey. So Nikhil, welcome to this episode. And why don't you introduce yourself, in front of all the other people as well who is just watching this, and give us a brief about your background.
Yeah. So thanks again for having me here, Vijay. I am Nikhil Bumbe. Like Vijay said, we studied together in Udaipur.
Yeah.
Close friends, we shared the hostel, so that connect. As for myself, I'm a mechanical engineer from Mumbai University. Did MBA from Udaipur. I now have close to 8 years of experience, I'd say, across various fields. So it's been hospitality and consumer durables, retail, and I mentioned hospitality, infrastructure, and currently I'm working in export import. So my current stint is as assistant vice president for business development and sales, and I'm working with a firm named Ichiban, or by the market name GM Trade Private Limited.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so can you tell like how many changes so far you have done as far as your career is concerned, and if you can explain a bit about like why did you decided to make those changes?
Yeah. Talking about changes, there have been many. If I count, it's been close to 6 changes now.
Wow.
So far in duration of 8 years. So this is pre-MBA and post-MBA both.
Okay.
The reason in most cases was I'd say I was not satisfied with the kind of work that I was doing.
Okay.
Mostly it was, I'd say my main driver for taking up jobs so far has been the salary.
Okay.
And while that was one positive that was there, the other part was lacking, which was job satisfaction. So
Okay.
that is the reason I kept changing jobs.
I think this is extremely important here. So I was at one of the conference, at a college in Pune very lately. So one of the students asked me, if we start changing jobs very frequently, wouldn't we be termed as job hoppers, and that'll impact our candidature in other companies as well. So I think it's an extremely important point here is that you have to decide between maybe 1 year of working at a company that isn't working out for you, and then shifting to a company where you think things are going to work out for you, or you stay in that company for 5 years only to realize that you had exactly the same amount of learning that you would have had just after 1 year itself. So it is an extremely important point that you need to kind of figure out. Yes, do not just change the job just for the sake of changing it. Have a solid reason why you are doing it. And if you think that you have a right reason for changing that job, there is no right time for it. If you think things are not working out for you, you don't have to wait for 2, 3, 4 years just because somebody said that you have to look like someone who is stable at the job. It's an extremely important point you have rightly pointed out there. Okay, so one question: can you tell a little bit about how did you come across ThinkSage, or if it has any kind of impact in your job search or your thought process? If you can explain a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I came across ThinkSage, I believe it was 2020.
Okay.
Don't exactly remember the year, but yeah. I was searching for a job. So again, like I said, I was working in a place. It was a good firm and everything was fine. But then I wasn't having that satisfaction of, having made a positive contribution or I've given something positive out of myself.
Okay.
So I was looking for a job. It had been almost 1 year of casual applying for jobs. But then it came to a point wherein I needed a change. It desperately wanted to do something better in life than just, do that 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
So that is when I felt that, I've been doing something for this long and it hasn't been working. So, if someone that I know and trust has, developed something, or they have gotten the expertise in, searching for jobs or for career development, then why not try them out? If something doesn't work out, probably, reach out to the experts and do what they say. And it definitely made a change.
Absolutely.
I said in my previous video as well.
So I think it is extremely important thing that you just pointed out. So if you think that something is not working out for you, speak with someone. It doesn't matter. You can speak to any person you think that they have made the right decision for themselves, or they're the people who are expert in giving you the expert advice. Speak to someone. So if you're at a position, you're applying, but things are not working out for you, or you are in a place where you think that even if let's say you apply, you're not going to get a result out of it. If that's the case, then you should go out there. There are n number of people over LinkedIn. There are a lot of career coaches. There are a lot of, so this is so to be very honest, if I look at the kind of time we are living in right now, so this is the best time where we have the access of almost every kind of people out there with whom we can have conversations. We can talk to them, and we can have that real one-to-one conversation where we can get to know that what exactly is the problem that we are facing and how do we solve for it. I think it's an extremely important point that you rightly pointed out. So one of the metrics,
which I just sorry, just one more thing. So I specifically wanted to mention this thing, as in the application process or the interview process. Like I said, I was going through it for 1 year, and from my previous experiences, I thought of myself as an expert, as I could
Yeah.
give an interview, get selected. And my thinking was, I'll tell the interviewer about my story, he'll be impressed, and I can impress him with my words, and that is how I get a job. But then with your sessions, yeah, I realized, there was that fault in the thinking. He doesn't want to hear my story. He wants to hear how I could benefit the company, and multiple other things that I went through with Prashant. And I realized that the things that I thought I was expert in, I was wrong in many ways over there. So that is also another way where I felt that the traditional way or the way of doing things needed to change somewhere.
Yeah. I think so. Whenever we are preparing for our interviews or maybe our job search, so typically, if I talk about 9 out of 10 candidates, we usually trust with whatever we have with us. And the problem with that approach is that many times what we think is perfect, as far as we are applying for a particular role, and what the hiring manager thinks are different, because what we think is like what is best for me, like where do I want to be, and what hiring manager is thinking is like what the company. So is there a candidate to whom they can hire which is rightly matching the requirement that the company has detailed out in the job description? So sometimes there is a mismatch, and it's really important for us to kind of go back and reflect and see whether what we are having as an aspiration is actually matching with what the hiring manager is looking for. So this is an extremely important point, because we are too much involved in ourselves and we think that, okay, we have got the right recipe to kind of go out there and do that, only to realize that, oh, this is not something which the hiring manager is actually looking for. So that's something that, it surprises me. The reason is that, this is something that you're saying, because, so you have been from, so one of the best colleges as far as the MBA is concerned, in India. So it's a very important point to kind of keep the like heart and mind open, and then have the conversation with people that, even if, let's say, I am 60 or 70% there, is there something that I can learn more from the people who are out there? Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, okay. So I have one question here, because you have done those frequent changes, as far as your jobs are concerned. Can you, so you don't have to answer this question, but if you can give, if you are okay with sharing this, so what kind of percentage change do you think that has happened in your CTC from the first job that you got from college to where you are right now?
I would really have to work out the math.
Okay.
But then I would say it's a 50% hike over what I got earlier.
Okay.
So that has been 50% over a period of 4 years, last 4 years.
Okay.
But then it has had 3 job changes. Yeah.
Okay.
3 or 4 job changes in 4 years.
So one thing that I would kind of press upon here is that, so this, when you're saying 3 job changes, they are across the industries. They are not like, if I am in banking, then banking 1 to banking 2 to banking 3, and still. So when you are shifting from your industry, within your industry, from one role to another, there you expect greater hikes. But when you are changing from one complete industry to a different industry, either you go at a similar place, or maybe you take a little so if you, or you take a pay cut because you desperately want to be there. So I think it is commendable that the way you rightly mentioned that although they were the industry changes, despite that you were able to get those hikes. Okay. So can you give a very small information about like how much time people you think people should take from they starting to job search till they landing a job?
That thing I'd say is would be very subjective if I have to say anything.
Okay.
Because I've had job searches wherein I have found a new job within 15 days also.
Okay.
And then I've had job searches wherein I've been at home for as much as 6 months.
Okay. Okay.
So my job search has been very it has been a very varying cycle. But then in most cases, what I found is even when I was at home for 6 months, the job that I got, the actual process, it took not more than 2 weeks or so. So from getting shortlisted and interviews and everything, it changed within 2 weeks. So that is again, I don't know if I'm digressing from what you wanted, but then yeah, I've had friends and colleagues who were very frustrated that we're not getting that job. I myself was in that place. 4 months at home, 6 months at home is not a very good mind frame to be in. And out of all that frustration, things changed within 1 or 2 weeks. So that phase where go.
So I think a very important point. It is not a digression, I would say. It is a very important point from, I think, a couple of perspectives. One is that that patience is key. You don't have to lose your heart, because as far as job search is concerned, there are a lot of external variables. Because even if you are the perfect candidate, so there is a very strong chance that you might not get a call from the employer, because there are n number of people who are applying. There are very different kind of factors out there. It could just be the case that just before you applied, there are already 100 applications, and out of those 100 applications, the HR has already taken out 10-15 candidates to whom they are interviewing, and they found a good candidate. Okay, so your application just did not get the right chance, or so you don't have to. So those are the variables that you cannot control, because they are absolutely out of your hands. So you have to trust yourself, keep applying to wherever you think is the right place to kind of apply. So this is an extremely important point, like you mentioned. And second point that I feel, which I can derive from what you just mentioned, is the so you have to be an active job searcher, not just a reactive one. So what a reactive one does is that he start applying for a job when something bad happens, like a bad appraisal, or you are laid off. Then you start thinking, oh, maybe I need a job now, I should start applying. And when you do that, so the time period might be more, as in maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It could be the way you said, it could even be 6 months, right? So instead of somebody being just a reactive in job searching, they have to be very proactive, in the sense that go out, create a LinkedIn profile, network with the right kind of people, build a little bit of content, so that people know you, that, oh, you are the expert in that field. Now, if let's say anything happens, okay, and now you decide that you want to make a job change for yourself. So if you go out and talk to people, tell that, hey, in your company, this is the opening that I just saw. Would you refer me for this particular position? People will love to, because you are the one to whom people know that you are expert in that particular field. They would love to have you in your own field. So instead of being a reactive job seeker, be an active one. And the benefits of active one is that people love to refer you. And second, many a times, even the HRs, even the recruiters, they come back to you even when you're not looking for a job. So I'm just quoting a LinkedIn research. It suggested that 89% of the time, when the recruiters reached out to a person who is not actively looking for a job, and they asked them that, would you be open to have a discussion for a particular open position that is there in our organization? So 89% of those people said, yes, we would like to have a conversation. Right. So even if you are looking for a job, people are getting hired from those positions where they are not even actively looking for a job. And that can only happen for you only if you have a very active profile on LinkedIn or in one of these job search portals. I think extremely important point you just rightly mentioned there. Okay, so the last question, Nikhil, that I really want, because you are someone who has good experience in this. If there are just 3 things that you can share, and you would want other people to implement in their journey to get a great job for themselves, what will those 3 things be?
The very first thing, which we discussed just some time back, is it could be a very lengthy process. It could be it could drag out for long, but then it also changes very fast. You could be jobless for a long time, and then suddenly you would get that dream job or dream interview. So one thing is to always have that energy high. I know it's tough. I've been through it myself. It's tough to have a positive mindset, but it really does help, because your mindset really shows through in your interviews, and I've had that phase back. The second thing I would say is, again, a point that we had discussed before. The interview should be about your fit for the job. Absolutely. And I've made this mistake for a long time. It's not my story. It's not about how I'm great at something. It's
Yeah.
about how I'm good at what you want to be done, or how I'm at a good fit at the job.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that I say. The third thing I'd say is yes, uh, unlearning helps. So having that mindset that this is the way I've been doing things,
Mhm.
and this is what got me jobs in the past, and
This
it
is
should work now.
yeah.
So unlearning is very important. You have to change with times. You have to understand what needs to be done. No one is an expert, and things have to keep on changing. So yeah, that would be my 3 points.
Very, very valid point, actually, especially in today's context when things are changing so fast, so one of the things that I felt, a lot of people have gotten success in past, at least in past few weeks, in past few months of, we speaking with our students, is the way they were able to, take their limiting beliefs off the shelves and replace them with the new things that are happening, in current context. I think this is extremely important for everyone who is looking for a job. Thank you, Nikhil, for being here and sharing your experience. I'm very sure that it will help a lot of job seekers who are there connected with us in our community and looking for jobs.
Glad to help anytime.
Yeah, thank you.
I was lucky enough to come across your page on Instagram. I actually got on your page on Instagram because you guys post fabulous content. So I came across this one video on Instagram where you had posted some.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 10x Career Leader Series. Today, we're going to talk to one of our very talented student who is on the path of making a successful career in finance for herself. So without further ado, hi, Megha. Welcome to the interview.
Hi, thank you so much, Vijay sir.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I am Megha Chaudhary. I'm from Guwahati, Assam. Currently, I'm working as a research analyst at CRISIL. I joined CRISIL in September this year. And apart, with regards to my education, I have done a bachelor's in financial markets from Mirabai College, Mumbai, and I have cleared all 3 levels of CFA. So yeah, and apart from all of this, I'm also a passionate baker. So that's all about me.
Perfect. Wow. So you have done passed all the levels of CFA. That's actually wonderful, given that you've just done your graduation. Okay. So can you give a little background about how did you started preparing for your interviews or started preparing for your job search, and how much time did you spend on it, and what were the result out of the time that you spent?
So actually, I was actually following a very basic resume format.
Okay.
Written everything in my education skills and everything, and just
Okay.
randomly applying to jobs like in my forte. But actually, I wasn't realizing the mistakes. So I
Okay.
was just applying, and yeah, I didn't get any results. So I thought maybe we randomly think that it's maybe the company doesn't it's not looking to hire or
Correct.
something,
Yeah.
without realizing. And then I figured out that other people are securing and they are getting interviews. Maybe I am going wrong somewhere.
Correct.
I should seek help from people who are actually providing the services like you guys are. ThinkSage. So I was lucky enough to come across your page on Instagram. I actually got on your page on Instagram because you guys post fabulous content. So I came across this one video on Instagram where you had posted some template how to answer this interview question.
Correct.
So that's when I started following ThinkSage, and trust me. And when you posted that first workshop is your first job. So I just took it blindly. I was like, let's give this a try and do it. And then when the workshop started, that's when I realized that I was making these mistakes. Using the same format for all jobs. Not thinking that okay, maybe this job requires something else.
Correct.
Just applying my one resume to every job, and incorrect format. That's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
And later interviews is the secondary part when you get there. how you present yourself or how you tackle the question.
Mhm.
Because I had actually appeared for an interview before joining your workshop,
Mhm.
and I could actually make out what I had done in that interview,
Mhm.
what mistakes I had made, how did I present myself. So that's, that was the problems that I faced. And
Yeah, I think a very important point that you kind of brought here is that when you went for that very first interview of yourself, which was which kind of revealed to you that okay, whatever you have learned, how are you applying it, and what exactly are the gaps for you to apply. So one of the extremely important point about preparing or maybe applying for job interviews is you somehow get there, maybe be a part of one of those interviews, which will clearly give you an understanding of like where do you stand and what exactly do you need to kind of get there. That is one. And second point, like you kind of mentioned, so when we start applying for interviews, what happens is that we do get rejected very often. We apply for it and then we see that nothing happened. And we look at one of the job description, we see that okay, this looks like exactly what I wanted to do, and then you see that there is a mail coming from HR that this is something that you are not going to so they've not selected you for an interview, and then you start believing that okay, there's too much competition, maybe this is not the right time to kind of apply, maybe I should stop doing that. And most of the time, like you just mentioned, most of the time the issue is not in your ability or your capabilities or with the job market. Issue is most of the time is with the most basic thing about your job search, which is your resume. Because the resume that we
correct.
have created is perfect as per our understanding, as in our own eyes. When we are looking at it, we are saying, wow. But is it also exactly the same in the eyes of hiring manager or the recruiter? That may not be necessary, because his thought process, his way of thinking about your resume or your interview questions is very different than that of the way you are looking at it. So I think it gives a very clear perspective that it's okay to seek help. It's okay to kind of ask for help as well, and maybe reflect back upon like how am I doing, whether I'm applying for jobs or not, or even if let's say I'm not doing anything, let's just apply, let's just see what is going out there, and then kind of reflect upon what exactly can I do to make sure that my job search process is right. So
Yeah.
so speaking like building upon that, so another question that I have here is um, so so how many companies did you apply, or finally, like how many companies did you like interview for when you were applying for your job search?
So actually, when I was into that applying period for companies,
Hmm.
I was also preparing for my CFA level 3. So it was a
Okay.
peak time, and my focus was actually on CRISIL,
Okay.
because CRISIL has a forte in research
Yeah.
analysis, and I had this thing to get into research analysis only. So I
Hmm.
had my focus on CRISIL because
Hmm.
while I was preparing for my CFA.
Hmm.
So yeah, I like after your workshop,
Applied for that.
I
Yeah.
got a chance
Hmm.
to apply all the learnings and everything at
Hmm.
CRISIL, and I secured the job.
Hmm.
Like I already told you about that. It's
Okay.
all, yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. So so can you give a little bit of understanding, maybe maybe few things to the people who are also applying for working um, in finance? Can you give them a little bit of clarity, since that you are now there working since past 2 3 months? Like what it's likes to so what it likes to be there inside, and is it as scary as it people make it believe when they are not there on the other side?
So actually in the finance field, you're asking, like,
Yeah, yeah, in
okay.
your field
So
precisely.
okay. So yeah, it, like, obviously when you apply for the job, and when you get the job, you are actually thinking that, maybe, like, how am I gonna do it, or
Hmm.
how is it like.
Hmm.
So when I joined CRISIL, I had the same nervousness. Like, am I
Hmm.
going to, actually, am I going to am I walking in the right path or career? Maybe,
Hmm.
if I'll be able to do it with the
Hmm.
numbers and
Hmm.
everything. So, but when I joined CRISIL, it all changed
Okay.
the perspective, because how they actually the people around you, they actually introduce you to the work. Like slowly, gradually, you learn that. Okay, so that perspective changed for me, because when you actually go inside that field now, so people will teach you. So you got to have an open mind that, okay, I need to learn. I will learn everything. You can't be thinking that, okay, I know this, I have done this degree, so I know everything. I'll manage. You have to have an open mind.
Correct.
So that people can teach you and you can take all of that.
Wonderful.
So that prepares your base.
Okay.
So that's where you start. So it's like you have to have that mind when you go inside.
Okay. So can you give maybe top 2-3 things that you want everyone to implement in their journey to get results, as in, to get those interview calls? So what do you think? You have been with us with ThinkSafe for some time, and you have interacted with us as well. What do you think are the top 3 things that people who have not been connected with us so far, or even if let's say they're connected with us so far, what do you think are these top 3 things that they should be doing with their job search?
So the three things which I believe people should be implementing is just not applicable to jobs, but everything in our lives.
Okay.
So first is realize that something is lacking in you. Something may be lacking in you, or you may be going wrong somewhere. So you have to realize where you are going wrong, like that specific point, quality, or maybe, for example, in job, maybe with your resume format, which is not highlighting your strengths correctly. You may have degrees and everything. So first is realize where you're going wrong. Then second, take the initiative to seek help from people. There are many people nowadays, your community ThinkSage, who provide free content, which is very helpful. So you have to find that. You have to take the initiative to network with people regarding the your skill, what you're lacking, what you need help for. And then when you actually learn from them, maybe you attend their workshops, or you see their content, or you connect with them, whatever it is, you have to implement that.
Absolutely.
Because without implementation, you're not going to get results.
Absolutely.
You will have to implement your what you've learned consistently. And then you can see the results. You will gradually see the results, because I have personally done that.
Yeah, I think
after your workshop, I had actually implemented the learnings.
So I think you're very nicely kind of put it there. They're just, if you look at it, there are just 3 steps to it. First, you just reflect upon what you're doing and see where exactly is the problem. Is it my resume, or is it my interview preparation that is their problem? Are my answers not coherent? I'm giving an answer somewhere. Maybe I'm preparing something else and then speaking at something else at a certain point. Or is it because I don't have right channels to go through it? Am I applying through only one job portals and then just putting it there? Am I speaking with more number of people in that particular area? So first you identify where exactly my problem lies. Then second, once you have done that, at least in today's context, we are living in an information age. We have plenty of information everywhere. Okay. The second thing is, then you find out wherever I'm lacking, what are the course correction methods there? Okay, in that specific area, you just find out what exactly are the problems, like you rightly mentioned. And the third thing is, once you have found out, okay, this is the problem, this is a solution, you go ahead and implement it. And this implementation, at least, Megha, what I have seen in our personal experiences as well, that people lack most of the time. In at least in 90% of the cases, what people do is that they just, they know that what exactly is the problem, and they also know that, okay, this is what will get me there. And for example, if a person doesn't have good communication skills, communication skills good enough to speak their thoughts, or people are not confident, when people know that these are the problems that we have, only thing that is remaining there is the implementation. So if, let's say, you read about a particular kind of a framework, can you apply the same framework in your context, and maybe record your answers at least once in a day and see whether you are improving day by day or not? So there are only 3 things there. First, you reflect what exactly is the problem. Second, you learn about it. How do you solve it? And then third, obviously, how do you implement it? That is wonderfully apt. Any other thoughts that you have, Megha, that you would like to share before we call it for a day?
These three things are important, and then just keep an open mind to learn,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you keep learning your entire life.
Absolutely.
Even if you have the knowledge, just act like you don't have the knowledge, because
Yeah.
you get to learn from the people.
Absolutely.
You get to learn from the person in front of you, like I have learned from you. Maybe I had some basic knowledge which I didn't have. In some cases, some people might do, but you get to learn what they're saying. You actually can absorb it in at what you're learning from them.
Absolutely.
So
I think at the start of the career, this is extremely important, because when we, at least, if I can remember my own time when I had done my engineering and then I came to the place where I had to work, because it's a process. In first year, you're just a newbie, and then second year, third year, by the final year, you are there in your college, you feel that you're a senior guy. And when you go there and you start working, you have those notions around that, I'm a senior guy and I'm someone who knows it all. So that kind of creates a little bit of a problem, or a little bit of a barrier that you don't need to be told that this is something that you don't know. So keeping that thing aside, doing a little bit of unlearning, and keeping that thought process that I have a lot of things to learn, because there are people who have been doing the same thing for past 6, 7, 8, 10 years, and they have much more understanding of the context where they are kind of working. I think it's an important point that people should have that mindset that I have a lot of things to learn, and first let me hear what other people have to say, because that is the moment you start listening to the people, that is where you will also start questioning, oh, okay, do I have the right kind of information there? Because when you start thinking that I know everything, you close your mind. So that's a very, very important point, that people should be open to the ideas, open to learning in that place as well. Perfect.
correct.
I think that kind of sums up the entire interview, Megha. Thank you so much. We are very happy that you were able to make a career out for yourself in CRISIL. You're learning there. We will keep on connecting again, because career is not something which is like cool. It is a journey. We'll keep on connecting, and we keep on. We would want you to share more and more of your experience with all the other people, all of the other students who are connecting with us.
Of course, I'll be asking for more tips from you as I climb the ladder of my career.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. It was an amazing opportunity to connect with you right now, and just discuss everything what I have faced.
Yeah. Thank
during
you
this
so
journey.
Much. Yeah.
Thank you so
Megha.
much. Thanks.
You helped me do my resume. That's a better part. Like, that's what I felt better, because people here always say, is there anyone can do my resume better? No one can do your resume better. Like, it's only you can do your resume better.
Hello everyone. Today we have Vinod, one of our very dear student from IIT Roorkee, and he is having almost 12 plus years of experience, and right now working at GHD Sydney in Australia. And people may think that he got everything like a silver spoon, but today you are going to hear his story, and you will realize all those ups and downs he had to go through until he reached that level. Okay, so over to you. We will start by Vinod. You can start by sharing your quick introduction and your background.
Yeah. Hi, Prashant. I'm really I'm very, very, very thankful, and I really want to do this interview for you, Prashant. My name is Vinod. I'm an IIT graduate. I did my master's in architecture from IIT Roorkee, and I worked in Saudi Arabia for a year, and then I worked in L&T Construction as an architect for more than 11 years. So I never had any frequent job switch. So my experience with a new job, going to an interview was little reluctant to do it, and I was scared as well. And then I got my PR process for Australia, and then I started it just went on for like 4 or 5 years, and then I finally got my PR. And then I was since being in a single company for 11 years, working in the same projects, same kind of works, going to a developed country, and I was little, backed up by, how am I going to perform, whether my resume is good, whether my language is good,
I was a little introvert, as you know, like since when I joined you, like how I was like then. So I was little, a little low in confidence, and then I was like, I was going through the Instagram, and then my wife told me like there's something called ThinkSage, like you want to try it, you want to give a try, and then okay, so I saw the videos and it was like really something. Okay, let's try. Like I just want to try. Um, and then yeah, you want to know anything else? Like, is it okay?
Sorry.
Is it okay? Like, yeah.
Yeah, the floor is up to you. You know, whatever you want to share. Like, I'm all
Okay.
ears. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So and then I already had a resume. So like it was like totally dumped, and then I wasn't putting a lot of effort on my resume. When I was in my PG, like finishing PG, like I started my resume. Like since I'm an architect, we do a lot of graphic design on my resume, and then put things and all. Like I concentrated more on the graphic part of the resume rather than the content part of it. Mm, so that was a very amateur time, like, when I started my career. So I just had the same resume, updated like since because I got a job. So I've never had a um, opportunity to update my resume or make it good, or update it. So when I've been given got an opportunity to move to Australia, I was like forced to do my resume in par with the developed countries resume, so to compete. So that's how I came to ThinkSage. Yeah. So I was really not into. I was not really into how the content is going to, how we can develop the content. But the tasks you gave me, the questions you gave me, actually I attended before coming to India on vacation, like December 1st week. I attended another interview. I had the formats you gave us, the tasks, the questions you gave me. Like you asked me to read about the company. You gave me the questions, number of questions. Why you want to hire you? Sort of questions I had, like the list of questions you gave me. We prepared, and then you checked the answers, and then again I revisited the questions, and then I rewrote again, and then you told me we had some conversations, to make it better. So I really have that copy. I really like next to my resume, I have that copy, so that every time I just we can do it once, and then you can update it later, like your resume. It also comes with you, like part of your career development.
Right.
So it's good to do that. Yeah, I really preserve it, and I have it, and thanks for that. and then when time goes, and after attending more interviews, I even added some questions, you know when I had some questions from the other interviewers, I really added some questions, and then start writing answers for that. So it was thanks to you and Vijay. Vijay really helped me in formatting my resume, because it was totally a dump. Like I totally dumped. I didn't put in more time in, refining it, make it a one page, a crisp, a strong resume. So after your tips, your examples, your it's not like somebody else do your resume. You made me do my resume. That's the best part of it. That's what I felt. That's the best part of the the complete the courses. I did my resume. Like you gave your advice. It still, I have the same resume. I even updated it better now. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, that's what, like it really, I've been telling my friends who seeks advice on resume, and since I'm an architect, people comes to me, make me a good looking resume. I always tell them, like the content is more important. People are everywhere, they see the content rather than the graphic is important. I accept it, but the thing is, like, you give us the 75% on your content, 25% on your graphic, so it gives a good impression. So yeah, so I have my resume ready now, and then my interview questions. That's equally important, I feel. With Prashant, the interview questions, like the number of questions we had, like I had some I remember like I have some 3 A4 sheet questions and answers now. Like rewrite it, and then he told me like it should be some 3 points. Yeah, I always like stick to that the three answers for a question. Yeah, it's helping me. I think it will do help me in the future as well.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
So-
Thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Vinod, I want to understand, like you got that PR, Australia's PR, right? But still, there were a lot of challenges you were facing that time, right? So, what were those challenges that you were facing and capacity to speak about?
Yeah, the one thing is like preparation is very important. Whatever you do, the things you don't get anything for free. Like there are a lot of competitions. When I get my I started my PR process in 2017. I struggled to pass my PTE, that is IELTS English exam. In my first attempt I got 65 points, which is the basic. It's the basic, and then I to get my process ready, I need to get a superior, that is the 90 par.
Yeah.
90 par, yeah. So above 80 in every listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So I for a year I struggled for it. Like I gave some seven attempts. In my 8th attempt I got that 80 par. Even in that process I was like struggling, like how, like there are some techniques.
Right.
For everything there are some techniques. I understood the techniques in my 6th attempt. So that's what if people get into the technique faster, they clear things faster. Yeah, that's what I like, the advice for the other people. Get into the technique. The Think Sage technique is good. So I got in the first attempt. Like I didn't do the same mistake which I did for PTE. Yeah. So after clearing the PTE, then finally I got my visa in 2020. So it's a 3-year process.
Right.
It's a big struggle. So once after getting my visa, it's not the end. Nobody's going to be there to give me a job. Like
Right.
I have to search for the job. Like and then I've been working in the same company for 11 years. I have no frequent interview experience. It's
Right.
been like since after my college days I've given interview. After that I haven't given interviews. I was so feared. I was little introvert. I was like, don't talk to people very much. I was like very shy, very quiet. Then I was like, my communication is also not very good. And then I felt I need to do some preparations. I don't want to just go there and look like an idiot or like, so I need some preparation. I need to do some preparation. So how to do it preparation? First I started with my resume. So I need to make my resume strong, and then I need to be confident in my interviews. I have I have no clue how to prepare myself for the interview. I really say I have no clue. And then your questions really helped me. The list of questions you gave me, you asked me to like, you put everything and then write it, and then content it to 3 points. That really helped me. So after the preparation gave me the confidence. The preparations, and then I've given some 6-7 interviews, and then I've got the top architecture firm in Australia, like Sydney, Cox Architecture. But there I was not given the permanent role. They took me. I had give like 3 rounds of interview. I got into the job, but I haven't got the permanent role. So the GST would add the other equally good company. They gave me a permanent role, so I joined them. So yeah, now it's yeah, I feel it's simple. Like yeah, the preparation gave me the confidence, and then that's what the key for the success, I feel. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And even I remember, today when I see, most of my students, I feel that they are technically very sound. The only problem is they don't know how to, structure their thoughts while they are communicating the same in the interview. So this is where most of the colleges fail. I mean, they can teach you technical skills, but somewhere they are not imparting with all the right skills to grow in your career. They can help you land your first job, but what then? I mean, how do you grow even in your company itself? So this is where the current education system, I feel, is incomplete, and hopefully we try to solve this problem, because this is something where I have struggled in my career. Vijay has struggled in his career, and we took those learnings, we improved those gaps by learning new skills, and we wanted to do the same for other people.
You're doing great. You're doing great, Prashant and Vijay. Yeah, yeah. And then one more thing, like I always thought, like I've always thought, like we can be extempore in interviews,
Right.
like directly go to the interview, and then whatever they ask, like just tell whatever you need, it's in your head. Like that doesn't work.
Right.
Always we need a preparations. Like it actually, like after coming from an interview, you shouldn't be like I should have really told this for this question. I would have I know the answer, but I couldn't able to do it. Like, so the extempore thing doesn't work. Preparation only helps. Even though I have technically good. I worked in a company for 12 years. That's a top Indian company, but still I still I have no confidence, when I plan to move to Australia. But the preparation in any point of time, in any point of career, preparation is the key. Is the key. Yeah.
It's the foundation on which you could do anything, almost
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. True. Definitely.
So,
Yeah.
Vinod, I also want to know, once you got to learn all those frameworks, all those strategies, how much time did it take to you to implement those learnings in your own system and get results?
Yeah, like during the course, during the process, during the course,
Once you got to learn those things, like how much time did it take?
I think it's for a week. I think 2 weeks, I guess.
No, I mean, once you got to learn all those strategies and things in our courses, after that, you were still applying it in your own profile, right? And
Yeah,
after that also, how much time did it take to, actually get results?
yeah, it doesn't take much time. Yeah, like once the things are prepared, like you're prepared for all the questions. We made during the courses, we made the number of probable questions from the interviewer.
Right.
We had number of questions. So I think we covered all the questions, and then it was like more I'm ready to take any kind of bullets. Yeah.
Right.
So I was very confident. So once you're confident, once you have answers for all the questions, and if you have a confidence to answer all the questions, and then you're technically good as well, and then so the results, you don't need to wait for the results. It comes. It's an automatic process. The results. Yeah.
So how many?
Even my second interview was like very easy. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go on.
Like even the second interview, like it was like I was very confident. It was like just in the 2 days, I just took the papers and then just brushed through and then gave my second interview.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to get easier day by day. Trust me.
Yeah.
After 1 or 2 years, it will come naturally.
Yeah.
So I want to know, how many interviews did you give to get a job in Australia, and how many offers did you receive eventually?
I gave nearly 7 interviews. I got 2 job offers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for all those people who are listening to this, it's not like you are going to get offers from every company, and it's not like that you only apply to 1 or 2 company and you stop applying and you stop trying. So it is also about the kind of efforts you are ready to put, right?
Yeah. Even though I was prepared, like it's a new country, the new accent, the people, how you behave, the procedure. So everything is new. Like it's completely new. So I was like, my first 2 interviews I gave like online. My third interview was personal. That was like I was like totally scared. Like it was winter at that time. I was like evening time. I got to wait. I was totally cold. I was totally shivering, and it's not because of fear. It's because of cold. Now then I went inside. I was like I couldn't focus and then do my interview well. And it also depends on what the company wants.
Right.
Whether it's not like all the company wants the same profile.
Right.
So it's not like you don't give a good interview. It's about maybe they look for a other profile, what they actually want.
So in terms of compensation, how much hike in terms of percentage did you receive once you got a job in Australia?
I would say like not much. Like definitely more, like more than 50%, definitely. But my first job in any country, new country, it's very difficult to get a better higher pay. So yeah, the market is like when you new to the market, if you don't have any experience from in the same country, you have to start from fresh. I didn't like not from the graduate level, maybe the bigger than the graduate level. But once you go there, like now after 6 months, I've proved myself in the company. So I was given a saying that maybe they'll revise my salary now. So yeah, it's the first job, like that's why my friend said, like, first job, just take it.
Right.
The experience is more important than the salary. Salary is like there are other tangible things. You have gathered six months of your experience in Australia, so the next job definitely you would get better.
For sure. Okay. So one more question. You joined our community. So what was your favorite part of our ThinkSage community? What did you like the most?
Yeah, as I said, like you helped me do my resume. That's a better part. Like that's what I felt better, because people here always say, is there anyone can do my resume better? No one can do your resume better. Like it's only you can do your resume better. You just need advice, a good advice and good guidance. Make your resume better, how you want it. Because there are a lot of industries. There are no one particular person can guide for all the industry people.
Right.
That's very difficult.
Right.
I cannot write resume for a IT or some, but I can guide you with a guideline or framework which you have got. So that's what like doing. I did my resume with your guidance, so even I felt confident, because if you do my resume, I don't know what's there you put in my resume, then I wouldn't have got the confidence. So that's the best part, I would say. Yeah.
We often say this line to all of our students, that there is no one in the entire world that can explain your resume better than yourself. So even like there are a lot of people text us on Instagram that, can you write a resume for us? And they are ready to pay what, like 3 times 4 times the money we usually take for a course, and we say no, that's okay, because even if we write your resume, it's not going to help you. And if it is not going to
Definitely.
eventually produce any result, then what's the point of doing that?
True. Yeah.
So one last question, Vinod. There are so many people who are in similar boat like yours. Okay. So going back to your journey, thinking about it, what are those top 3 learnings that you would like to share with all those people who are listening to your interview today?
Yeah, that's what as I said before, like the preparation is very key. And don't give up on anything, even though your resume is like I have nothing to put in my resume. Even I felt that. When I said I worked in the same company, one single project or two single project for the big project, but one single project I worked. But when I had conversations, then you said no. You think you put everything first, make a exhaustive resume, and then we can make it a better one. And so then I started thinking, and then I put everything, and then I discussed with Vijay, and then you, and then we made it a strong points for that. So even though you don't have anything, like just talk to people, talk to get the guidance, and then make it better, and definitely you can build a good resume. Yeah, that's what I felt. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, Vinod, what next? So, what are your plan for the coming next 2 to 3 years now?
I'm very excited about the new company. I mean, new country. Yeah. And then yeah, the job is good. Mm, I have attended one more interview. The profile is totally different. It's going to be a new. Now I've been an architect. Now I'm jumping into another platform, like software platform, BIM. So I think it's going to be interesting in the next few years. So I really don't look for the hike or money. I always like the excitement in the job, and then the learnings. That's it. So the money part automatically comes. That's what I feel. Yeah.
True,
So,
true,
so
true.
that's it. That's it. I just very excited about the next step. That's it.
So I have some, few pointers for you for your next role or for this role itself. So right now you have all the answers prepared, right? But these answers and your resume also needs to improve with time, right? It needs to be
Yeah.
updated. So what you need to do is every 3 months you need to write whatever things you have achieved in these 3 months. You need to document those things. These pointers will help you not just in your resume but also to prepare answers for your next interview.
True.
That is number one. Every six months, have a meeting with your boss or whosoever is your senior, and ask him that what do I need to achieve to get my promotion. Get it documented. Get it everything written on a mail. Achieve those
Okay.
things so that everything is quantified. Most of the time we keep on putting a lot of efforts, but now at this stage of our life we also want to be rewarded for it. It can be a promotion, it can be a recognition, it can be a monetary thing, I don't know, it can be anything, but it needs to be rewarded. So in the next 5 years you have to be on those leadership roles. That has to be your plan, like nothing less than that. You are a leader and you need to be there. Sometimes people say that I may not be the CXO but I am a leader. That is okay. It's good to say those stories to your kids and other people to inspire them, but at the end of the day you should be rewarded for whatever things you are doing. That is my funda.
Yeah.
And I
Thanks.
don't expect anything less from you.
Thank you, Prashant.
Yes, definitely. And I am really sorry. In the last few months, we were not very much connected, and I had some complaints from my few other students whose interview I took. There were few new courses also launched, but we informed our older students, and
Okay.
so there are some courses on salary negotiation now. Okay.
Okay.
Where first you learn how to find out your worth. Okay. Now you are in a different country, so what is your worth for that role? That is number one. How to compare different offers. It's not just CTC, but what other parameters also you need to compare before taking up an offer. Apart from this, how to counter different scenarios, salary negotiation scenarios. And we are not teaching you few answers, not like interview wala thing. Here you are again going to learn some frameworks that according to different scenarios how you need to negotiate your salary. And there are certain lines that you should never compromise on. So that is our salary negotiation wala part. Apart from this, we have few courses on LinkedIn where how to create content on LinkedIn, how to create a personal brand so that recruiters reach out to you with opportunities, how to optimize your profile. So there are few courses on that. There are few courses on finding your job fit. That is also a very important parameter, especially who is starting their career, right? Not just run for money, but if that role is fit for you or not. So we have launched few of these courses, and there are 3 or 4 courses that are also going to be launched in another 1 month. And in the next 3 to 5 years, the way we are seeing things said, we will cover almost every skill set that a college must. The college was supposed to teach you, but somewhere they failed. Like, I'm not just talking about your college or my college, but every damn college in India, or you talk about global college. So
True.
right now what we are learning is functional or technical skill set. Now we are talking about life skills. So number one starts with job search. Number two starts with how to grow in your own company. Number three stage would be you are earning good money, but how do you grow your money? People today, just like as soon as they start earning money, they give their money to someone else and they tell them to invest. But it's your own damn money with with that you have earned with a lot of blood and sweat. So you need to know how to invest that money in the right thing, right? So all those skill sets we want to teach because we believe that these are important life skills that are required with your functional and technical skills. So hopefully we will be launching all those skill sets in the next few years also, and we will keep you updated about all those things, what's happening here.
Please. Yeah,
And
I would love
whenever
to. Yeah,
you feel that you want to upskill, we are one step away.
yeah.
Okay. And anytime,
Yeah.
anytime, whenever you are facing any problem, you can, feel free to ping in the group or us. We are always-
Definitely. I'll be keep in touch. Yeah, with you always. Yeah, I'll go through the new courses as well. Yeah,
Yeah. We are going to send a mail to all of our previous students because today I was taking an interview of one of our student and he told that, sir, I would rate your program 8 out of 10. So I was like, why are you only rating 8? Like, where are those 2 points? So his only point was, sir, I needed salary negotiation courses. I was watching those things on your Instagram video, reels, but that is not enough. Can you create something concrete? Because I had to salary negotiation last time and I use those things in your uh, Instagram account, but that is not enough. And then it struck us that we already have programs on those topics, but we never informed our older students. So that was our mistake, and we will make sure that this is never repeated again.
Thanks, Prashant. Thanks.
And all the very best. You have to reach that level because you are a leader. Remember that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Good luck. Be in touch.
Yeah.
And if you ever face a problem, do reach out to us.
Definitely. Thanks, Prashant. Thanks, Vijay. You convey my regards to Vijay as well.
Definitely, for sure. Yeah.
So as you know, like how underconfident I was when I joined you and Vijay. Vijay helped me to reshape my CV. Nowadays, anyone will see my CV, like they will say like this is the perfect CV. This is the only candidate I need.
Today we have our very dear student Satya in our exclusive series called 10x Career Leaders, and he joined our program last year, and he was struggling for some time in his interview preparation, but we were very surprised to see the progress he had in few weeks, and today he's working as a senior consultant in Capgemini Invent. Welcome to the show, Satya.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Prashant, for inviting me for this session. So as you know, or you already have known to me, I joined your program with one of the reference of my senior. So I was struggling with my CV. I was struggling with my behavioral answer and like how to portray story of frame story around your CV points. So as you know, like how underconfident I was when I joined you and Vijay. So and I also told my summer story, like I hardly got any shortlist for the summer internship. Vijay helped me to reshape my CV. Nowadays, anyone will see my CV, like they will say like this is the perfect CV. This is the only candidate I need. And when I go for the behavioral round, they were like, yeah, this is the actual story or actual answers I was looking for. You all taught me like star frame, how to portray, how to give context to the interviewer, how to make them curious to ask the questions from you, how to not let them to ask you question randomly. So with the help of you and Vijay, I was able to crack the interviews in during the campus placement. I summer story was different. I got the shortlist very early in the final placement, and I was able to crack the second company as well. And my interview went so well, like interview was so much happy. When I came outside the interview, I was so much confident, and I said to my friend, "Chalo party karte, mera to ho raha." So
Wow.
all this because of you and Vijay, I was able to do that.
I still remember that, as soon as you got the shortlist, you called us.
Yeah,
And even we felt that, happiness inside us, that, the same person who was so underconfident and he just wanted a final placement. That
yeah,
was his entire desire. ये नहीं कि पहले मिल जाए दूसरा मिल जाए बस मिल जाए because you had to struggle a lot during your summer placement. That is what you told us. And when I went through your profile, I was like, yeah, he is having everything in his profile. Why is he so underconfident? So, within few weeks, the kind of efforts that you put, it was also because of, your sheer dedication. That whatever we told you, you didn't question it, you just did it. And उसके बाद तो मतलब I still remember that call and I tell that story to a lot of my other students also. It is one of my proud moments, when a student who was struggling and you called your parents. No, you didn't even call your parents. You called us first. So
yes, yeah. First I
uh,
called you. Yeah,
it was a very happy moment for me. Like I told my wife and everyone that today my student who was struggling, like he didn't even call his parent, he called us. So it's a very big moment for me also.
yeah. Actually, you and Vijay not only taught me like how to crack that placement, but you taught me the art of making CV, the art of framing answers for the interview. So as consulting, like we have a very short-term project, 3 months, 6 months. So after for every project, we have to give a client interview. We have to give the CV for the requirement. And for me as well, whenever I see the GDO, I can make the CV. Vijay has already told me, taught me how to make the CV. And for the interview, most of the time I'm prepared. I don't have to do any extra effort because you have taught me a lot of things, how to frame the answer in the interview, how to use star method. You have I went through a lot of practice session with you, one-on-one session with you, a mentorship session with you. You guided me at each and every point, which words should we use, what kind of skill you should show into the interview. So like I remember you helped me preparing my tell me yourself answers, my behavioral answers, each and every answers I used to write it and send it to you and Vijay. You both helped me a lot into that, and thank you very much. Now, like I'm very like today I'm confident. Like if I want to even switch my job, I know how to make the CV, and I know how to crack the behavioral round and all. And even if I need you, I have you as a mentor.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
So, right now you are working in Capgemini Invent. So, for how long have you been working here?
I joined in June, around 6 months it is.
It's been 6 months. So, how
Yeah.
has been your journey till now?
So currently, I'm working for European client. They're on a digital transformation strategy.
Mhm.
This is my second project. First project was very short. Like I just helped the client to make a dashboard, and this is complete end-to-end digital transformation project for them. So
Okay.
right, we are done with the initial information gathering. Like we are on to the strategy, and till June or July we will able to deliver the solution.
Superb, superb. So now you are also rocking at your workplace.
Yeah.
Superb, yeah.
So
Good.
you only not like you and Prashant, sorry, Vijay have not only taught me about CV and behavioral question. You also like taught me how to interact with the people, how to communicate into interview. Sometimes what happens, interviewer come and he is doing some stuff in laptop. So you also taught me how to keep him engaged so that he will feel not bored into the interview. So these skills help me in my company also to interact with the new people. You also taught me how to pick the questions or points so that you can keep engaging, you can interact with the people. So this is helping me a lot, and thank you very much for teaching me all these things. Before meeting you, after meeting you and Vijay, my life completely changed. Like the confidence the you people gave me, the skills and art you people taught me. This is helping, not help me into that placement. It is also helping me now in my company as well.
I think we all have a similar journey because when Vijay tried to crack CAT 5 times before he got into IIM Udaipur. Okay? Like
Yeah.
my journey was also a bit difficult. Like it took me 2 attempts to get into a decent college. Even after coming to the college, in summer placement, both of us were worried because we knew that we don't have a very good profile, and we didn't know how to structure our thoughts, communicate well in the interview because Vijay comes from Uttarakhand, I come from Rajasthan, and English was never our base language, so we were not very comfortable communicating in English or
Yeah.
saying whatever we want to say very confidently in interview. And like I was lucky to meet some people in my life who taught me the art of cracking interviews. Okay, Vijay was my mentor in college who used to work on my resume and CV. And because of all those people who came to my life, like it changed from a person who used to get rejected almost in every interview. Like I had a success rate of less than 5% till my undergraduation. If I go to an interview, definitely he's going to reject me. That was how my life was. So there were certain things where I failed initially in my career, and I knew कि मेरे जैसे और भी लोग होंगे, and there is no one to guide them. So this is how we started, and I'm really happy that with our experiences and whatever we learned through our mentors and our experiences, this is helping change lives of other people also. And trust me, like this is just a start, Satya. अभी तो picture चालू ही है. You have to get into that CXO role one day, and very
Yeah,
soon, definitely. So you have to keep your spirit high, and you have to always believe in yourself. कि you have everything right in your profile. ऐसा नहीं होता कि those CXOs are made from some other cloth, ठीक है, या कुछ अलग चीज उनके अंदर होती है यार. It is all about believing in yourself. ठीक है. So I'm definitely going to be with you in this journey, and you have to grow. You have to promise yourself कि बॉस अब तो ऊपर ही जाना है अपने को.
definitely.
So Satya, if you can, my next question is, if you can point out few challenges that you were facing before you joined our community, so that other people who are listening to your story right now, they can also connect to those challenges. So what were those challenges that you were facing initially?
So initially, like I have already told you, the one of the major challenge I was facing with my CV, like the CV was not in the summer placement. I didn't got any single shortlist with that CV. So Vijay helped me to restructure, reframe, whatever you called, created a new CV, given me the new format. So after that, the same CV with the same CV, I got the shortlist into the finals. So
Initially,
this was
in
my
summer placement, how many companies did it take you to get shortlist?
around 46, 47 companies came for the summer placement. I was shortlisted in the last company
Okay, and
when almost all the my batchmates were placed.
okay, and in your final placement, like
In
how many?
final placement, I got shortlisted in 15 companies.
15 companies,
Yeah,
and you got job in your second company, if I am not.
yeah. I got shortlisted in 15th company and I got my job in the 16th company. This was and gave the interview for the second company. So after like meeting you and Vijay for the behavioral round and in CV preparation, so like it's not only like I prepared my answer and all. You also filled me with the confidence. After that, like our college also have some mock interview and GDPI also. So when I went through that mock interview and GDPI, the seniors were like कि तेरा तो हो रहा है एक दो attempt तुम tension मत लो. So like placement started in I guess December, but I met you in August or July I guess. So at that time I was fully prepared at the end of July and August. So I was only focusing on my technical skills like statistics and all. When my friends were still struggling with the CV behavioral, I was like chill at that time. ये तो मेरा prepared. I don't have to worry, Prashant. Like when I was going through my interview of Capgemini, so ऐसा कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं था like कि this is new question for me. So when the HR was asking, you prepared me so well. When the HR was asking, I was like smiling. Yeah, मेरे को तो आंसर आता है. तो you told me the structure कि वो एक पूछे तो तीन सवाल मतलब I was prepared कि क्या क्वेश्चन पूछ सकती है. So मैं एक बार में तीनों का आंसर दे दिया उसको. So she was so happy. उसके बाद she didn't ask me anything. She was like कि like I know my feedback. She was like कि at this stage I like rarely find someone at your age like very clear with their career and what they want in their life. So it was just because of you. Like you told me how to give the answer to them, what HR could ask into the interview.
It was also because of your hard work, because I know a lot of students, they come to us when they are just about to give interview, like, एक हफ्ते पहले आ गए या फिर 2 दिन पहले आ गए, and they tell us that, help us prepare for these interviews. So you have to also be very proactive about your approach. You cannot expect us to teach you everything in 1 or 2 days or just 1 week. It is also a matter of practice, because I know even after learning those frameworks, those structures, you need to practice. You need to say those answers with a lot of conviction, and I am definitely sure you practice a lot.
Yeah. So like you told me like to record the videos and send it to me. So I used to record it and send it to you and Prashant about different behavioral answer, and that helped me a lot. So you like after the course was over, I then also used to send a recorded video of my answers. You or Vijay used to give me the feedbacks of that. So I remember that helped me a lot to like reframe or restructure my answer or how I deliver. Like sometimes the answer was correct, but my delivery was not good. So you helped me with that also.
Hmm. Definitely. I mean, like knowing those answers is just one part. You
Yeah.
need, like, right now, a lot of other, like, if you go online and if you try to find answer to a particular question, you will always find that answer. But it is not just about that answer. You need to have an entire strategy. Number one, it should not look like copy pasted answer. It should come from your own profile, and you
Yeah.
need to say it in that way that it is coming from your own profile, not just copy pasted answer that sir rata rata answer you are saying. So I'm really happy that you put in everything, like your all your efforts into your preparation, because you went through that tough time during your summer placement. So you
Yeah.
took lessons from it, and in your final placement, macha diya yaar.
Yeah, like when I after speaking you when I told to my seniors or some other friends, they were like कि तेरा अभी कैसे हो गया? So मैं बोला all thanks to my mentor Prashant and Vijay.
So what was your favorite aspect of our community program? Like, you went through the entire courses. So what was your favorite aspect in it?
So favorite was one-on-one connection with you and Vijay was one of my favorite because it helped me a lot. Like you will get lot of videos on YouTube and internet. Okay. Just as you already mentioned, like answers are already there on the internet.
Right.
But it should come from you inside, like come from your profile. The interviewer should feel like it is coming from his profile. Ye rata rata answer nahi. So one-on-one connection with you and Vijay definitely was one of my favorite. Like it, you gave me lot of feedback and all. And one of most and another was you guys were like responsive. I used to message you on LinkedIn. I remember kabhi bhi I used to send you a mail. You guys were like I used to get reply on time. ऐसा नहीं कि मैं दिन भर wait कर रहा हूँ या रात भर wait कर रहा हूँ. So I used to get the feedback on time. That definitely helped me to like improve my answers and all. And one-on connection was very helpful because like you can get everything on internet on YouTube, but like it is lack some like personalized experience. Like the YouTuber doesn't know what is in my profile. Like you said me like I was having everything in my profile, but I was not able to present it.
Right.
So when I show you to my profile, you personalize it, how to like restructure my CV, which point should come first, which point should come second, which point would add more impact. So these things you will not get on the YouTube or any other website.
Right.
So one-on-one connection helped me to like do that things.
So if you have to, go back to your journey, and if you have to, take out top 3 learnings that you want to give to all the other students who are listening to your story, what would be those top 3 learnings that they should implement in their preparation in their lives?
First is like find a good mentor. This is very much helpful. Like having a mentor is like definitely you should have a one mentor, and I got you and Vijay as a mentor, and I feel very lucky for that I got you on time. That like I find you on June, July. and that helped me. Second is like take a feedback as a like in a positive way. Like I remember like कभी कभी लगता था feedback when you used to send me the feedback, कभी कभी लगता था यार क्या कर रहा हूँ, क्या life है मेरी. So I took that as a positive. कभी कभी लगता था लेकिन you motivated me like you have to improve your answer. No one will come to do you for that. So I take that as a positive and improve my answers. Like after each and every feedback, I rigorously used to sit and change my answers based on your feedback. And secondly, the most learning, like if you feel any time like you are like demotivated, and like your mentor will definitely help at that point. So mentor is very important. And third key learning is like it is for life learning for me, like how to prepare behavioral answer, how to prepare CV. Give me any JD, any job, any domain, any industry, I will prepare the CV.
I'm also sure that, be it any interview, you can crack those interviews today.
From the first company to this company, I got almost an average of 70 to 75% to 100% of hikes from EY, from Deloitte, from BDO, and yeah, KPMG as well.
So, hi everyone. Today we have Vijay with us. He was our student a year back, and today I'm very happy to see the entire change that I'm seeing in Vijay. Let's directly go to Vijay and first understand his background, what he is doing currently, and where he was working before this company. So, Vijay, over to you.
Yes, hi everyone. Hi Prashant. My name is Vijay Kumar. I come from Hyderabad. I'm currently working with EY GDS at Hyderabad only, with the advanced analyst position. My background is I'm from the CA background, but I didn't get through. But I've completed my BCom, and there is a little bit of career gap within like 2 years. Then after that, yes, I figured out so many interviews like mid companies, big four companies. I haven't gone any that. I wasn't selected in any of the companies. Then in the December month, I think it's 2021, in the November, in that period, I got into this ThinkSage ThinkSage website, and I've enrolled with the workshop like resume and interview cracking. I've gone with the resume workshop first, and then interview then. And once I've attended that interview lectures, it was not just like recorded ones, but yeah, the Prashant gave me that one-on-one. After we had to finish that one lecture, we had to go with Prashant's exercise, that kind of thing. And within a week, we really transformed the level of bit. And then yes, after completing that lectures, I've get into that still I've given the many interviews. Then I got into the company Value Stats, and now currently working with EY. This is my journey. This is a background. And yes.
How long have you been working in EY currently? Or did you join recently, or you have been working here for quite some time now?
With EY, it's been 2 months of time. I've recently joined that, but yeah, just giving that one interview, they were like, I got a response within a day that you have been shortlisted. Yes.
Super. So I want to understand, last year when you came here, what were the challenges you were facing? Because you were trying for CA, right? For a long time, you were looking out for job for a long time. So what were the challenges that you were facing for a long time? And, what was your state when you joined our community?
Okay. So once after qualifying the BCom, and once I was going with CA failures, for me, I was a failure. And while I was giving interviews to the companies, they were also considering me as a failure, because I was not projecting my talent, but I was trying to, there was a misconception with the companies. Companies don't just look onto the qualifications, but they also look to the personal character, like, confident people as well, like passionate people as well. So either they will choose these qualified people, or else the people who have a least graduation, still confident enough to do the work. So I was lacking in both at that moment. Neither I had a qualification, neither I had a confidence or else passionate enough to project myself to that companies. So this was like those both of the things were lacking, and at that moment I joined that ThinkSage.
So how did you get to know about ThinkSage? Because I don't think we were doing a lot of promotion of our community that time.
I've got I've got to know about ThinkSage from Instagram reels. I don't know her name, but I got to know ThinkSage about by her. Then I've searched it, and I came to the website. I've chosen. I've seen some reviews, and they were totally real.
Super. So Vijay, I want to understand right now, if you can tell me if you want to tell the figure. If you don't want to tell the figure, you can tell a percentage, So when you started versus today, okay, what is the change in your CTC?
Yes. First CTC, yes, it was low. For every fresher, it will be little bit of, we have to accept it, right? The Indian companies do these things. We knew we can't do anything because of the lot of resources do they have. So first CTC, yes, I had to accept it. I had to go with it. But for the currently I'm working with EY, it's almost 100% hike.
Within 1 year?
Within 1 year, yeah.
Wow.
Because yeah, negotiation also worked for me, or else it would have been just 50 to 75%, but we have to, yes, I've used the resources from ThinkSage, and those really gave me that 100% hike.
Super, I'm glad to know this. So how much time did it take? So once you completed all the courses in ThinkSage, okay, we had a lot of interaction, I remember those days. So once you completed all those things, how much time did it take to implement those learnings and finally get some results?
Starting once I've got in, after completing classes, I've given the companies, I've given the interviews to the companies, but still there were 2-3 rejections because I was not properly implementing those things to them. I was not projecting them because still there was a fear, still there was a lack of confidence. But yes, I've practiced that things n number of times. I don't know, like each and every question that we were discussed right in the lectures, I've practiced them. I've practiced a lot, and I feel little bit, I feel that correction I should make that. But yes, it took me while. It took me 3 to 4 interviews again. Even though I didn't selected for that first companies like Big Fours and the mid-tier companies, at least I got selected in the small Indian company. Even that was a big achievement for me. But yeah, in this period, I again worked on my skills. Again, I've gone through in me. I used to visit the ThinkSage website. I used to go to the ThinkSage Instagram profile. I used to see that. I used to implement that things in my mind, and those things kept me cracking into this EY company. Yes, it takes time to implement all these things that yeah.
So currently, if I can ask you again, how many offers did you have before you chose EY, and can you give a proper breakup? You had your first company, and then you joined these you had offers from all these companies. So what was the percentage hike from all these offers?
Yes, I can say that. From the first company to this company, I got almost an average of 70 to 75% to 100% of hikes from EY, from Deloitte, from BDO, and yeah, KPMG as well. But I've gone with the company which they offer me the best, and I've chosen EY.
You had 4 offers in how much time frame?
Within 2 weeks of time, because I'm going with the placement. So yeah, all the interviews were back to back. Yes, but I've got the call within a day that you were shortlisted. Within a week, I got all these offers. Yeah.
So within 1 week, 4 offers. That's amazing.
Yes.
Okay. So in your whole journeys, okay, I want to understand how many interviews did you give? People can understand that sometimes it's not easy that you are going to get the offer in the first interview itself. It takes time. So I want to understand how many interviews did you give and how many did you clear?
Yes, it depends on the person to person. It's better to agree on one statement that सबका journey एक जैसा नहीं रहता. Everyone has their own journeys. Some people, even if they have a very less confidence, very less criteria, less qualifications, less experience, but still HR believes in him that sometimes it works for some people, and sometimes we have some bad time, or we just project ourselves in a very less way or a less passionate way in the interviews. It depends. In that way, it depends on person to person. So yeah, for me it took 20 interviews. For some people it might took 5 interviews. So what we can do is we just have to keep going.
Right. So out of 20 interviews, how many did you clear eventually?
Last 5 I've cleared all of them, but in the first 15 I just cleared 1.
So we also have to understand that it's a ongoing process. Even if you get your first job, you still need to work on your answers, work on yourself, and with every practice, those answers improve.
Yes.
Can
exactly.
we say that?
Yes, exactly. So in the first go, we will, that first question, tell me about yourself. That first question is the toughest one while we are attempting in the first interview. But in the 20th interview or the 30th interview, we just gave all the things in the 1 minute, and it works really well. I think it just in that first question might discuss, might be able to crack that whole interview. It might works in that way. So yes, we have to keep on practicing that. One question might be for the long period of time, so that we will give the best answer at one day. Yeah.
I want to understand that you had all these offers right now, right? So apart from the money part, what was other factors that made you decide about EY or reject all the other remaining offers?
Exactly. So in the first employment, while I was giving, I was like, whatever the role you give me, I was ready to take that. But anyway, whatever the role I got in the first company, it was worthy. But while I was choosing with EY all this other big fours, I was completely looking for the role that I wanted to pursue that role. So currently I'm working with the business taxation with EY, a particular role called BTC. I wanted that role only. I was looking for that role only. So once EY was offering that role, I was ready to take that. That's why I've rejected some other companies as well. I didn't even took the role which is little bit of back end to my role which I was looking for. I don't even know. I don't even want some other roles which I don't want it to do work. Even it is not relevant to at least 10%. So I wanted that core role, and I got into that.
So if I sum up, when you started, it was more about getting your first job and experience. Once you had that experience, you very well knew what kind of role you want to fit in, and that is what you finally took, right?
Yes, exactly. That exactly.
So next question is, you went through our community. Okay? So what was your favorite part in that experience with our community?
Exactly that. 5 questions like what, when, how. That 5 questions part, I think that was there, right? I didn't remember right now, but yeah, that 5 questions. Like some interviewer might ask, we might say, what is your hobby? We'll say like traveling is my hobby. Then interview will not just listen that what was your hobby. They will also ask, what do you do that? If we say that traveling, where did you travel? When did you travel? Why you are traveling? They might ask all these questions as well. So while I was giving, while the points were there in my resume, I prepared all the questions like what, when, how. That was the very important point we have to project in the interviews. Yes, that was my favorite part in all those workshops, because I haven't seen anywhere else this kind of criteria that we were discussing right now. Yeah.
Right. So right now you have 2 to 3 years of experience, right, with it?
Only one year.
1 year of experience. Yeah. So how do you feel that all these learnings in these courses are going to help you in your next few years?
Even ThinkSage is also going to update it, right? So yes. Again, yes. I might fight. I might get I might feel less confidence right now also. I had that thing. Yes, I'm improvising that. Yes, all these recorded lectures I'm going to watch in every stage of my life, which it really boosts my confidence, because will follow someone for a very long period of time till we achieve that moment. Yes, things age. Yes, we have to. I'll follow for a very I just, at least to get into that manager position in EY or else in any other organization, I'll be connected with things age. Yeah.
So you can blindly follow this even if you are trying to get into a CXO role. So I remember one of our students, recently got a job as a AVP in Axis Bank.
Wow.
Okay. And like, we didn't teach him anything different. These frameworks just tell you how to crack a human brain. If there is a human who is going to take your interview, then these frameworks will work like a charm.
Yes.
I don't know about a time when there is a bot or a computer who is taking our interview, but humans we can easily correct, be it from Apple, be it from Tesla, be it from any company. This is my confidence in all these frameworks.
Exactly, that whole thing that you were trying to build our confidence, like trying to project, not even have to project our answers like just like reading the paragraph or kind of thing. We also have to project our answers that we have learned very confidently, very passionately. Even if you tell the wrong answer, it might work in the interview, and that you can learn from our Prashant in our lectures. Yes.
Thanks for your kind words. So last question, Vijay, I want you to share your top 3 learnings that you want all the other students to implement even in their preparation.
Yes, first, resume. Even though people might just scan the resume, it might work, but yes, resume cracking is a very important. People just ignore that thing. But yes, what we have to keep even if your resume is very short, you have to keep the words very accurate. So first thing, you will going to work, you will going to learn from things. That is really important. And yes, second thing, the interview, we have to, the passionate thing, the things that I have mentioned recently, in our session, right? That things are really important. And the third thing that Vijay, I think Vijay Chandola, I think, so he mentions about that salary negotiations parts. Those little bit of things, that the wordings, that the things that we have to mention while negotiation, those things are really important, or else we have to settle down for a very less package. So these are the 3 things I would take away from things.
Great talking to you, Vijay. Okay, yes. Keep in touch and
sure.
Keep growing, buddy. Keep growing. All the best, yeah. Thank you.
Bye, Prashant. Yeah.
Bye, Vijay.
September mid, I could able to get a lot of call, like morning, evening, from other like different company. I was like shocked. Oh, how am I getting those? Like, is it really true? Then I check those LinkedIn profile. Oh.
Hello everyone. Today we have Sagar, one of our very dear student with us, and I want to start by saying that Sagar, when Sagar came here, he was very, very low in confidence. For a long time, he was figuring out a lot of things. But today, when I just opened my laptop and started this call, like, I see a very different Sagar altogether. Okay, so I want to understand, Sagar. Like, how did this happen?
Yeah, so as you told, I'm working at Infosys right now. So like, I think around 2 to 3 months I was literally struggling, applying the jobs, not getting any calls. And my resume is rejected by almost like every companies. So then I started like learning the strategies and tactics from Prashant and Vijay sir. So especially this ThinkSage team has helped me a lot in building my profile, optimizing my LinkedIn profile and creating my resume. So coming to that, earlier I was not knowing like how to create the resume. So my resume were, there are a lot of blank spaces. I may not use the correct action verbs, and there, like I could say, it was not structured properly. So then after the workshop, I came to know, oh, these are the things that I need to add, because like as things sage, practically they are helping us in the screen itself. Like these are the things that you have to correct, these are the things that they're guiding properly, like these are the things that you need to add, right, by using the proper action words. Like, and also second thing I learned, like optimizing the complete thing, like we have to write in the bullet points. I still remember that. So, and I also came to know the complete ATS compliances, like how like resumes are getting shortlisted in big organization. So even I get go to get into big four companies as well. Like I go to interview calls as well, like using all these techniques. So second thing, yeah, I need to say that the interview preparation, right? So I still remember that I was very low confident. Like I if the first day I remember, like you asked me tell yourself, right? So I was literally shivering. So I practiced myself in front of mirror, like the techniques which you told me. There a lot of loopholes were there, like so I could able to identify which are my weak sports, so I could able to improve on that, especially the projects, right? I was not knowing like what to answer, right? So you taught me like there are particular hooks, right? So if I tell something, so I could able to expect like what question I can expect from that, like what is the next question I can expect from the interviewer. So that I've learned it. Then I so these are the things that I learned. Then yeah, structuring my thoughts using the STAR framework, right? So that is the most important thing that I learned from this entire workshop. Then you have actually given me the template of LinkedIn. So till now, like I have like near to 13,000 followers. Like I started connecting with everyone. Like I use that same format of templates which you send me when I was in job search. So like I think approximately I could able to get at least 60% of messages like that. Like more chances of getting interview calls. Even I directly texted a lot of HR recruiters and lot of even startup founders even using that techniques. I could able to build the connections. Like still, like if I open the LinkedIn, I'll get maybe 1 or 2 messages from different students as well. Like
wow, that's impressive. So
Yeah.
right now you are working in Infosys, right?
Yes.
So how long have you been working here, Sagar?
So it's been 4 months now.
4
I
months.
started in September 2022.
Okay.
So that 2 months was literally, I struggled a lot, like, so I started preparing myself, like what are the weakest points that I have. I started preparing on those things. Then, started preparing mainly for tech. As I'm working as associate business analyst, like consultant AIML. So getting to that particular role is very difficult, like into getting into AIML as a fresher, right? So
Right.
I, literally used all the techniques, especially to deliver in the STAR framework to structure my complete project, like end to end. So then I started improving, learning a lot from you, ThinkSage team, especially from Vijay sir and Prashant sir.
So I want to quickly ask you, Sagar, when you started, what were those challenges that you were facing for a long time? Because, there will be a lot of other students also who will be in similar boats. They might also be facing similar problem. So what were the challenges that you were facing while you decided to join us?
So challenge in the sense, like I was not even getting a single interview calls, right? So I still remember my old resume. It has like 3 pages and it has a lot of blank spaces. It was, I write in kind of like paragraphs, right? So maybe I think maybe that's why. And I used to write like everything, like right from my 10th standard to like till my MTech. I used to write my all projects there. Like then I maybe it's not completely structured, I could say. So yeah. So that's the thing, the first challenge that I face. Second thing, yeah, maybe my communication was very weak that time. Like, so I started improving on those things as well.
No, I can
Especially
see that, Sagar, when you were here, taking those classes, those interview classes, there was a lot of things that you were supposed to learn. And I used to worry that, how can you learn everything in this short time frame? But look at you right now, you are so much confident, and the way you speak, it talks volume about you. So I'm
Yes.
very, very happy to see this change.
Thanks so much, Prashant and Vijay sir.
So next question, Sagar, this is Infosys your first company, Sagar?
Yeah, earlier I was working at Caterpillar as intern, and Infosys is my company.
Are you planning for a change? And if you plan to change your company, what is the minimum CTC that you are expecting now, or minimum hike that you are expecting?
I think above 50 to 60%, because I know like what all techniques I need to implement here. Maybe I can use those techniques, especially for jumping into next organization.
Right. So how much time did it take to prepare all these frameworks, implement in your own profile, and get results?
I think 2 months, 2 to 3 months I really took, because I completed my MTech in June, like July, August, like September, like this 3 months was very hard for me. Like I was not getting any calls. Like I could say like every company is rejecting. So after learning this technique, I started implementing, correcting, updating my resume, updating in Naukri, like everything I used to do in that way. So then September mid, I could able to get a lot of call, like morning, evening, from other like different company. I was like shocked. Oh, how am I getting those? Like, is it really true? Then I check those LinkedIn profile. Oh, how that companies call me. I think I sat for 6 to 7 interviews. Then I get into Infosys.
Wow. So from not getting any call, you started getting call at any time of the day in September, right?
Yeah.
In 2.5 months of time frame.
Correct. September was, really, I could say, game changer in my life. Like, I used to, get calls, like even Sundays I used to get calls from startup founders and all. Like, that was really awesome.
So out of these 6 or 7 interviews that you gave, how many did you clear eventually, Sagar?
I could say I didn't clear in any of those. So first was like maybe I can say the name, right? It's not a problem.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So first I got into Amazon. So I couldn't clear the behavioral round. So then I started like improving, like maybe which are the weak spots I need to improve on. I think I have informed you as well. Like I got into like suddenly Amazon calls me. It was complete dream for me. Like so then second company was ABB. Third was like one startup from Bangalore. Then again one startup. Then Philips. Then Infosys.
So what was that one mistake that you were continuously doing in these interviews?
So from interviews I've learned so much. Like then I started implementing those, like especially the STAR frameworks, especially to deliver an interview. Then the projects, right? I need to explain like end to end, especially in the AIML. Like I need to explain like everything like end to end. So then I started like if I tell something, okay, I can expect that question back. So I'll prepare those. So if I tell that, what he can expect, what interviewer can expect, right? So I started preparing that way. So, it becomes a complete structured thing. Yeah.
So is it okay to say that, initially when you started, you were still not implementing all the frameworks, and once you started implementing more and more frameworks, you started getting results?
Yeah, correct. Because first company still, I remember I did a lot of blunders, like in that Amazon interview. Like now I could able to recollect and laugh into those mistakes. Like my projects was not that good, and like I was getting really stuck when answering those questions. So then I started, making notes after each interview, like what all questions they asked. So I started preparing on those topics, especially in the, technical things.
So, if Amazon comes today and take your interview, would you be able to crack now?
Yeah, I got some confidence. Anyway, I'm learning daily all those like technical stuff here. So definitely, I think, yeah, I'll really wait for that opportunity.
So, Sagar, what was your favorite aspect of the entire ThinkSage community? What did you like the most about ThinkSage?
The interview preparation thing, which you did, right? So especially the resume part was, resume part is also fine, but interview preparation, I could able to identify weak spots, like especially the way of communicating. You taught me, like, I still remember that I was very low confident in tell about yourself. So you started, in that 5 days, 3 days you used to ask me, tell about yourself, right? So then, yeah, every interviewer will ask that. So that's a thing that I learned from you. And the project implementation, right? So you told that always put the project which you know, right? So earlier I was putting the project that which I did earlier or something. Then I started writing my publication in my MTech. So then that project was not I was really low confident in putting those. I started preparing on those, then I put it. Then I could able to deliver it end to end when explain to interviewer.
So, do you think the entire program that we taught you is going to help you even in your future endeavors?
Yeah, definitely. Because I still have that notes which I make, like still it is there in my mail. I just converted to PDF and kept. So definitely, like before the interviewer, I just brush up all the top like things that you tell, because the resume is already created. Now I need to update it, based on my current organization. So definitely it is useful.
So what I want you to do is, whenever you start working in a different company, whatever experience you are getting there, start writing those things in a document, okay? Because those things will help you create your answers for next interview, and those things will directly get added in your resume. So you don't need to start from scratch.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Till now, whatever you have done, it is already there in your resume and in your preparation.
Yeah.
Now, whatever you learn in this 1 or 2 years at Infosys, start writing it somewhere in a document. And once you decide, boss, now I want to make a change, just start, reading those things. These will be your new answers, right? What did you do in your current company, Infosys? You can directly say those answers, and the same thing you will just add in your resume, and you are ready to give any interview anywhere in the entire world.
Correct. I'll definitely do that. Yeah.
Okay. So, what are top 3 learnings that you think is going to help anyone who is watching you right now, and they are also in similar boat? So, what are your top 3 learnings that you want to give to those students?
I could say first thing, improving the communication. So that is very, very necessary, right, to get into any organization. And second thing is structuring your thoughts. Maybe if I can say like a lot of things that are not even connected to that topic, right? So once we have that STAR framework, like we could able to connect those dots and we could able to finish those. So that's the thing. And third thing is nothing but optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So that is most important nowadays. Like even I got like a lot of calls, even like messages, sorry, not calls, messages from LinkedIn before. So I was really impressed by those. So these are the things that I found like really helpful for other students.
So any feedback for us, Sagar, ThinkSage, that things where we can improve, or things that you really liked about ThinkSage that we should still continue?
Is it audible, right?
Yeah, it's audible.
Yeah, so I could say I didn't find any those, but it was quite more practical and more supportive, right? Especially the complete ThinkSage team. So I didn't find any negative or something, but everything is positive over here. Like that from the day 1 to day 5, like it's, we could able to get a lot of confidence. So I so it's really good. Like you guys are doing very good. Even I used to connect you guys Instagram, right? So definitely, I'm getting even more learning from there.
Super. And I expect a lot of good things from you. You need to do very well in your career. That is my success. That is success of ThinkSafe. Okay, you guys doing wonderfully in your career. That will make us happy.
Yeah.
So keep learning, keep growing, Sagar.
Sure, sir. Sure, definitely.
Okay. All the very best, Sagar. Keep
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah, bye.